Okay, so you all welcome once again to another section on effective email communication. Special greetings to all our viewers, our listeners, and to all our students as well. We want to sincerely appreciate you for your time. Your energy that you have, put into this for it to become a success. We really appreciate it. And then we say, God richly bless you. In today's class, we are going to look at four main or five major things. Then we bring this particular training to an end. Then we bring this particular training to an end. And so, as I have earlier on mentioned, we are going to look at four major areas. That is how we started the whole of this program, where we have gotten to, and then we'll look at how to wrap up for this training. Okay. And so quickly we will go on to our browser and then we will start from there. But remember, in this 4 weeks email communication that we started, we looked at how to create an email using Gmail as our base of study. And so if you have been a student of this particular training, you will know that now, per the training you have received, you can confidently create an email account using Gmail domain. And so we looked at how to create a mail by visiting, uh, then select create account. There, we looked at advantages and disadvantages of creating email account, why it is important to use an If you are an Android user, you cannot go to Play Store, download applications and other things onto your mobile phone without having a Gmail account. And so we looked at the importance of having Gmail account, and we also looked at why you must create a Gmail account for communication purposes. We moved on to how to secure your email account, and then we discussed about 15 topics or 15 ways that will help you secure your email account. We mentioned secure password. We mentioned how to use two-step verification approach. We also mentioned do not leave your phone or other devices open after logging in for transactions. We mentioned a whole lot of things, about 15 unique points that will help you stay, secured when it comes to email communication. And so when we got to how to secure your account, we've really spent a lot of time on that particular side because a lot of hacking and then a lot of email spams have been going around these days. We took a lot of pain and walk you through all the things that you need to do when it comes to securing your emails. If you have been following this tutorial or if you have been a student of this particular course or this 4 weeks training, you will bear with us that you have really learned. Okay. Then from there, we also went to see how you will be able to set up, your vacation so that in your absence, when a mail comes, the email that you have created will automatically respond to anyone who has sent you a mail by saying that you are not available or something like that. And so the communication should be channeled to the next user or the next person in line. We look at all those things, and then we also look at something that you are supposed to do, like when you want to configure, the background or change the backgrounds of your email and all those things. We did them. Okay. So now what we are going to do before we wrap up for this, 4 weeks training that we are going to do today is that we are going to and before we continue, we also looked at how to send email and make them important when you are sending an email. When you are sending an email, we looked at how to make the emails important or marking your emails as very important mails so that when they arrive, recipient will know that this particular mail is of highly, importance to you. So as I said, we are going to look at five main things or five major applications that is in Microsoft. What's the name? Sorry, five major applications that is also in Google that will help you stay productive when it comes to working environment. Okay, we are going to look at five things that will make you stay productive when it comes to working environment. Okay, and so that is what we are going to do today, and then we will bring our training for effective email communication to an end. And so, if you have been a student or if you have been participating for this training, we want to congratulate you for coming this far. It is not easy to take an online course like this and then come to an end. And so, today marks the last day of this our effective email communication class. And so, I'm going to teach you four or five major applications from Google Apps that will help you stay productive. Okay. And so I will take you through all these apps one by one and how it works. All right. Now, when you open your browser, as you can see on the screen, and then you have already signed into the browser, you can see from the app here that we have Gmail, we have images, and we have some dotted, lines here. When you place your cursor on, you will see Google Apps. Okay, and so when you click on these Google Apps, you have a lot of apps that are available for you. There are a lot of them. When you go to the mall, there are lots that will pop up. But for the purpose of this training and wrapping up for today's class, we are going to look at about five of them that will make you stay productive when it comes to using Google apps or even email. When you have Google email, you have access to all these apps for free. You have access to all these apps for free. You don't need to buy or you don't need to do any other thing to get this application. You have them for free. So I'm going to walk you through some of them and then I'll bring this class to an end. Okay. And so the first application that we are going to look at when you open your Gmail is this particular application called Google Meet. Google Meet is an application that as soon as you sign up for Gmail account, you have access to Google Meet. You will be able to use this Google Meet to organize meetings among your team, among your employees, and among your members whatsoever. So Google Meet is one of that as soon as you sign up for a Google account, you get for free. Google Meet can be used for meetings like you have been using Zoom and other meeting applications. Google Meet is free to use. Comparing it to other applications or social, meeting applications, Google Meet is a free app to use. Okay, this is one of the first applications I am going to, mention that it is very, very important to help you when it comes to, having a meeting online, having a meeting with people that you supervise or people that are under you. So if you have a Gmail account, you have free access that you can use to all your online meetings. You can schedule your meetings inside here, and when the time is up, this Google Meet send notifications to those that you want them to be in this particular meeting, so that at the end of the day, you don't have to be sending emails and messages. Google Meet will just send notification and a reminder about your meetings that you have scheduled. Google Meet is one of the top applications that when you sign up for Google account, Google email, you will get for free. That will also give you when it comes to, I mean, productivity. Okay. Now the next application that I am going to mention, Google is Google Drive. Google Drive. What Google Drive does is that, or what Gmail does is that, after signing up for uh, after signing up for an account from Google, you get 15 gigabyte storage in the cloud that you will be able to save all your records there. The advantages of this is that, in case your phone is missing or your laptop is stolen or whatever, you get a new device and sign in with the new you get a new device and sign in with your email password that is associated with this particular Google Drive. Everything that you have saved in the cloud, be it images, certificates, whatsoever that is linked inside this Google Drive will shows up. And so when you click inside the Google Drive like this, it will open the Google Drive for you. And then when it opens, you have access to upload all images. You have access to upload every document that you are interested in saving in the cloud for future purposes or whatsoever. Okay. So when you open Google Drive, this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. And then you have access to upload from your computer. And then you have 15 gigabyte storage, as you can see from here. And at the moment, it's 0 bytes of 15 used. Okay, so you can place all your documents inside your Google Drive. It works like basically the way you use your pen drive. You go and copy documents from somewhere, you come and then you save it. All right, that is how Google Drive basically works. And so you can save all your documents inside the cloud. You have 15 gigabytes to save all your documents inside the cloud. And then when your phone or your laptop gets mixing and you log on to another device, the only thing that you have to do is that you just click on this app, go to Google Drive, and all your things will be displayed there for you. If you want to if you want to upload your document, you only have to click on new. And when you click on new, you have the option to, upload your file. Okay. So if it is Google Documents or Google Sheets or slides or forms, you have all the opportunity to upload all those things here. You can create folders inside your Google Drive, like when you are on your normal smartphone. The way you have been creating folders, you can create folders also on Google Drive and save your documents according to the category. Okay, all right. Now listen here. When you click, it will open all applications for you, and when you open, you have access to a lot of apps. As you can see, I have mentioned the Google Meet. I have also mentioned the Google Drive. The next important thing I can talk of is the Google Calendar. Okay, the calendar will also gives you an opportunity to schedule, your day or your time in an effective manner, or in a way that you will be on top when it comes to that thing. So when you click on the calendar, you have the option to schedule meetings for yourselves. You have the option to, also you have the option to also set up events. So for instance, you can just click in a particular day. When you click on the day, you have the option to put the event, the date, the time. We have Google Photos. Okay, Google Photos. When you click on Google Photos, or when you want to use Google Photos, what Google Photos does is that it gives you the option to back up all your photos in the cloud. Okay, it's different. It's a little bit different from Google Drive. Google Drive will accept all your documents, the PDF, the PPT file, that PowerPoint document, and other things inside your drive. But Google Photos only accept your photos, and you can link this with your phone so that anytime you pick photo or anytime you snap a picture, your picture will automatically send to your Google Photos once you have access to internet on your phone. The advantage is that when your phone gets missing or stolen or gets an issue that cannot be resolved, your photos all will be in the Google. So anytime you get a new device, sign on to the new device, your photos in the cloud will be downloaded back onto your mobile phone for you. Okay, so this is one of the applications that will also help you when you have your Google, account signed up successfully. We also have a lot here that some of them I will take my time and walk you through. Example, the Google Sheet or the Google Forms. Okay, so I will mention some of them, and then other two I will take my time and walk you through when we get to their end. Okay. So as we continue, we will just go back to where our apps are located, click on this, and then when we click on this, the apps will open back for us, and then we go through again. Now, as you are scrolling through, you locate Google Docs. Google Docs is another application that will make you productive when it comes to, staying on top when you are doing anything related to work. Remember, we are looking at things that will make you stay on top or more productive at the working environment with the Google, space. Okay. And so one of the applications that will help you do that is Google Docs. What Google Docs does is that it gives you the opportunity to type everything you want in the cloud, save it, and then also come back anytime and edit it at your own convenience. Okay. When you get your computer into issue, or when your computer gets into issue, or when your phone gets, issues, this Google Docs does not get, affected. All right. And so you don't have to worry when it comes to, your document getting mixing and other things. Google Docs is in the cloud. It basically works the same thing as you have your Microsoft, Word on your computer. Okay. So what you have on your computer, your Microsoft Word that you use to type all your other things, that is how Google Docs also works. So basically, it's the same as, let's say, Office Word on your computer. So you open your Word or your doc, and then you can begin to start a new document by clicking on the blank. Or if you are looking for a resume or a CV, you just pick any of this sample and then start to, manipulate it to suit what you want. Okay. So if you want to start a new document, you just click on this, and then you begin by giving your document a title. It's basically the same thing as the Microsoft Word you have on your computer, as I said. And so you can just name this by saying, let's say, letter, and then you begin by typing whatever that you want. The advantage is that anytime you typed in this particular document you have opened, for instance, it automatically saves for you. It automatically saves for you. Okay. It automatically saves everything that you are typing for you. And then another advantage is that you can share the link of this particular document so that other people will be able to work simultaneously. What this means is that as I am working in this document, other people may have access to it and also be editing it and then be giving feedback and comments. Okay. So I don't have to walk you through all this. It's basically the same as Microsoft Word, where you have the types, the font style of the heading you want to use, the sizes, if you want to make it bold, if you want to make highlight, all these things, the underline, the bulletin, everything that you see in the Microsoft Word Office on your computer basically is in the Google Docs. Okay, so you can see all of them here. As you can see, anytime you try to type something, anytime you try to type something, it automatically saves that thing for you. So as you can see, as soon as I finish typing, the document is saved. All right. Now, what you need to know is if you want to share this document with people, or if you want to work with people, on the same document, what you need to do is just click on this share. At the moment, the document is in a private mode, which is you alone. So you can decide to share this document by just inviting people here, by just inviting people at this point. Okay. So now this is how you can do to invite people to, collaboratively work on the same document. Just click on this and then type the email address of the people and then just click on send, and they will receive a notification so that you all work on the same documents. Okay. All right. That is Google Documents for. And so after Google Documents, we'll look at another document that will help you stay productive and even on top when it comes to working at your environment or working in your environment or your office. Okay, we have looked at Google Documents and then we are going to also look at Google Sheets. Okay, another application that comes with Google for free is Google Sheets. Okay, so as soon as you sign up for Google account or Google, email account, you have access to a lot of applications for free, of which Google Sheets is one of them. We have looked at Google Docs and we are now going to look at Google Sheets. Google Sheets also works basically the same as your Google Docs. And so Google Sheets is the same as Google, what's the name? Google Sheets is the same as Microsoft Excel. And so picture Google Sheets as Excel on your computer. And so if you have the Microsoft Office suite on your computer, that comes with Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and other things. The same thing what Google gives you anytime you sign up for a Google account. Remember, you get all this for free. You are able to use them anytime, anywhere. What makes this more, important or more, I mean, what makes this more advan what makes using these Google apps, interesting is that you are able to work from anywhere and then you are able to collaborate with other people at any time, be it using of Google Sheets or even Google Docs. Okay. And so Google Docs are used for preparing documents and other things, whilst Google Sheets are used for accounting purposes. I mean, getting all the down work and the calculations and like what you have been using your Microsoft Excel on your computer for, the same thing you can use your Google Sheet for. And so if you want to start a new document in Google Sheets, the same thing as you were doing in Google Documents, you do the same by clicking on this new, blank, and it will open up a new Excel for you. Basically, it's the same as the Excel that you have on your computer. The Excel that you have on your computer. Okay, so you be able to use this Excel any name that you want. You will be able to give it any name that you want. And as soon as you finish, it automatically save for you. As I earlier on mentioned, it's basically the same as the Google Docs. And so you can also click here to share with others. You can click here to share with others, meaning you can populate this Excel and then also share with people to also comment or work on the same document with you without having to type in your Microsoft Excel on your computer and email to people for them to download, work on it, and email back. So to avoid that stress, you can simply sign up for Microsoft email account, get all these applications for free, and start using them collaboratively with all your team members. Remember, you can secure the email or you can secure this particular Excel sheet or docs so that people who are not, authorized will not have access to this particular, Google Sheet. Okay. And so for security, you can restrict, who has access to and what the person can also do. Okay. You can rename it as you have been doing on your computer. You can rename it as well when you come to Google Document. Okay. When you come to Google Sheets, you can do the same. When you go to Google Docs, you can also rename it. Okay. And so remember that Google has all these things for free. And so anytime you sign up for Google account, all these things comes to your email for free. Remember, some of these applications are limited to the web-based, Gmail. If you have your phone and you sign in to Gmail, some of the applications, may not show up until you open your laptop or computer and signs in from there. Okay. And so some of these things that we are mentioning, it is likely that you may not see them when you sign in with your mobile phone unless you use a computer. Okay. And so to do a recap before we continue, we have looked at how to use Google Meet and the importance of using Google Meet. By using Google Meet, you can, organize a meeting among your team members. You can organize a meeting among your friends and board members. You can schedule a meeting so that when it is time, Google Meet will send a reminder. We have looked at Google Drive, where you can back up all your documents, your PDF, slides, presentations, and other things inside the cloud so that anytime you want those documents, you can fall on them. We also have looked at Google Photos, where you can put all your photos, automatically in backup mode, where anytime you pick a picture, your picture will automatically be saved into the cloud. Okay. We moved on. There are a lot of applications here, but some of them are basic, like YouTube, Google Search, Maps. They are all on the phone. Some of them are basic. You look at Google Translate. Google Translate will help you translate languages and other things. But we moved on to looking at other applications like Google Documents, and then we looked at how to, share Google Documents with others, how to type in Google Documents, and how, Google Documents works. Google Docs basically works the same as your Microsoft on your computer. So take note of that. We looked at Google Sheets, which is where we are currently at, and we have realized that Google Sheet is also the same as Excel on our computer. Okay, it's also the same as Excel on our computer. So we have looked at how to rename the sheet in Google Sheets. We have also looked at how to, do some basic things like sharing the file with others in our team or in our office, how to share this file. We looked at it. and that is where we say you click on this and then you can invite people. We also looked at some basic things that you can do. For instance, I mean, the font size, the stars, the bold, the italics, all these things were in the Google Docs. And so if you have been able to go through all this, then using Google Sheet should not be a difficult thing for you at the moment. Okay. So we have looked at all these things. When the advantage of this is that anytime somebody access it, you will be able to see who accessed the file and how many minutes ago the person accessed the file, what he or she did to the file, as far as you are the overall person who created this or you are the admin of this file. Okay. And so don't bother yourself about, I mean, who edited it and who did what. And you will be able to see them because you invited all of them to join, I mean, this particular sheet that you are working on, and so you'll be able to determine whoever is making changes to it. Okay, version control, that is version control. If somebody has touched it, what he or she did, and all those things. All right. And so now we will move on to another thing that is very, very important when you create, I mean, a Gmail account and then it brings you. When you create a Gmail account, you also have access to slides here as well. If you have a presentation that you want to do online, or you have a presentation that you want to do with some group of people, you can prepare your presentation slides, I mean, from online that, I mean, when you finish, you can download it onto your computer and use it for whatever presentation you are going to do. And one of the advantages is that you can insert images from, I mean, online direct and after you use them. Okay. And so, as we have mentioned, Google has a lot of, I mean, applications that works basically as Microsoft Office suite all the components. So we have the docs, we have the, I mean, Google Sheets, we have Google Slides that will help you prepare presentations and other things. It works basically like the Google Sheets and then the Google Docs. And so if you want to start, you just click on the blank as you can see here, and then it will open the presentation exactly like your PowerPoint on your computer. Your PowerPoint on your computer. You can even slide, you can right clicking and then click new slide. Basically, like the way you have been using your PowerPoint on your computer, the same thing this slide also does. Okay, so when you finish, you will be able to share this slide with others as well. You can also, I mean, change a lot of things inside the slides. As you can see, you can go in a presenter view and see what you have done. Okay. And so after preparing your presentation, this is where you see the presentation, I mean, recent presentations, okay? And you can decide to make it offline or available offline. That is when you are not online, you can even have access to it and then seen it at any point in time. Okay, so now we'll move on to another thing that is also important that I think I will spend a lot of time there, and then from there, then we bring to this an end. Okay, I'll just open to Google Docs, no, Google Forms, for instance. Sorry, just go to Google Forms. Okay, now Google Forms is one of the things that if you are a teacher, you are a researcher, you are a pastor, or whoever that is into, I mean, gathering Google Forms are one of the things that when you have about it, it will really helps you in terms of gathering information. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit, I mean, time and walk you through the Google Docs, the Google Forms, so that you will be able to understand exactly what the Google Forms does. At the end, 4 weeks class, you should be able to email emails, all the things we have done, and also understand some of these basic applications that your email gives to you for free. You can use Google Forms to gather information from people and use them for your research purposes. Okay. Gone are the days that when you are doing research, you carry questionnaires, people, office to office, schools to schools, and other things. Now you can use Google Forms, prepare your questionnaires, send the questionnaires through WhatsApp or email, and get people filled the document for you, and then you can begin to use them in your real work or something like that. And so Google Forms are very, very nice when it comes to research, when it comes to gathering informations and other things. So I'm going to walk you through Google Forms in the next 5-10 minutes, and then we will bring class to an end if there is no question that needs attention. Okay. And so quickly let's open the Google Forms and we go through step by step as we have been doing in these 4 weeks. Effective email communication, we want to make every student understand what we are really doing, and so we don't rush in getting everything done quickly. We want to take our time so that you understand exactly what you are doing. Okay. All right. And so as you can see, Google Form has opened, and then we quickly click on blank. As you know, they all follow the same pattern like the Google Docs, the Google Sheets, and the Google Slides. But this one is basically to gather information if you are into research or something like that. Okay. If you are into research or gathering information about, let's say, a particular topic that interests you most, and you want to do a survey. Even if you are a teacher, you can use this to prepare some online questions and then send to your students to answer them. And in the process of answering, when they finish and submit their answers, they will get a feedback of whatever score that they had during the question time. And so Google Forms is one of the applications that helps you do a lot of things easily without having to travel far for all those information. Okay. And so as you know, I'm going to walk you through all these things step by step because I am interested in letting you understand this so that you will be able to use them in your research work and other academic purposes as well. Okay. And so we are going to look at it one after the other. So here is the heading or the title of your document. You want to prepare a document for Google Form for your research purposes or your survey purposes. You have to give your Google Form a title or something like that. Okay. Untitled form. It's untitled form. So we can decide to give it a title, any title that we want. Okay. For instance, survey. And as you can see, as soon as you finish, the changes will be saved automatically. The changes will be saved automatically. All right. So here is where your title goes. Okay. From here, we have the questions, we have the responses, and then we have settings. I'm going to walk you through. At the end of today's class, you understand exactly what this Google Forms does. Okay. So this questions part is where you are going to have all your questions. You come to the responses where all the answers you have received for this particular, survey will be, and the settings, what you can do to, make the questions either receive answers after submission or whatever, giving the people the right to submit information after submitting a previous answer or not. All those things will be done in the settings. Okay. Now when we come here, you have the option to customize the theme of the work you are preparing. You have the option to preview what you have done already before you now send to people. You have the option to, as usual, undo and then redo. Then we have the final option here, which is send. Okay, which is send. You can click on this option here or these buttons or dotted line here to make a copy of the current question you are on. You can move to trash, get a pre-filled link, all these things. You can even add a collaborator to this particular survey you are creating, so that he also have a role to play. Okay, also have a role to play. Quickly, let's go back to these three things and then we go through. But before we go to this particular place, as you can see, the heading that you see here automatically reflected here for you. So this is the heading. So this is survey. Now, when you come to survey, we have the option to describe or say something about your survey. Okay, so you can say a lot of things about whatever survey that you are going to do. For instance, let's say this is to get your views on what people are thinking about religion or education. So example, you want to conduct a survey and then you are interested in what people are thinking when it comes to religion or education. So you can just write your description or something like this nicely here. You can decide to bolden it, italic, underline. All these things that are in Microsoft Word, you have a lot of them here. You can apply all those things to it like this. When you type, you can preview, as I showed you here. You can preview, and this is how it will be when this document is sent out. Okay, and I'm sure you have been seeing a lot of documents like this you have been filling, but you may not have the overall understanding of what went into it. In this class, you are privileged to understand Google Forms. Okay, so now you just click here to take you back to the question page. Now, this is what you do. You can just click on this to start asking your question. For instance, by saying, so you can say, please enter your name like this. Okay. So when you put in your question like this, for instance, you have some answers, options to choose from. Is the question you ask the person going to demand a short answer, a paragraph, a multiple choice like A, B, C, or D? Check boxes like he has the option to check about 2 or 3 boxes. Drop down, file upload. Is the question about uploading files, for instance, passport picture, CV, or whatsoever? All these options are available for you to include in your Google Form sheet that you are preparing. Okay, so that when you submit this to anyone you want to fill, the document is complete. Okay, so now the first question is, please enter your name. Because the person is going to enter his or her name, the best answer option to choose is short answer, so that the person will be able to enter his name or her name. Okay. Now you have the option to duplicate this and then continue the next question. You can delete it as well, and you can also make it required. Okay, required. Required means until the person answers this particular question, he or she is not allowed to move on to the next, section. Okay, to the next section or to the next question. Now, for instance, after this, you can just click on this and say add another question. So you just click on the plus option here. It will give you the option to add another question. Okay. Now the question can be, are you okay? Let's say select gender. Okay, because gender is either male or female, you have the option to use multiple choice. So you can just see male and then female, all right, like this. Okay, so you can decide to make this one too as well required. What this means is that until the person selects any of this, he or she is not allowed to go to the next question. Okay, he is not allowed to go to the next question. Remember, in preparing your Google Forms survey, you can add, questions you have already. If you have typed the questions on your computer, you can import them. You also have the option to add title and descriptions as well. You can insert images or pictures. You can add videos as well. And then the final thing is you can have sections. What sections does is that sections separate or break your questions. So for instance, survey that is on, let's say, um, health, you can have section one, that is demographics, for the name, the age, the gender, all those things at one section. You also have another section that you have, a couple of questions under that section as well. Okay, as under that section as well. So you can have section one, section two, section three, and all of them will have their sub questions. Okay. And so when you are using Google Forms, you have option to add sections as well. Okay. Now this is how you prepare your questions when it comes to preparing a survey. So you can just click on this again and just see age. So the age, because you give them the option to enter, you just allow it to be on short answer. Okay. I'll show you one thing, then we move from this place. So if you want them to select, I mean, uh, their country, you just click on this and say select your country. So because your country is going to be a drop, a multiple selection distance, you pick multiple choice. It can be Ghana, it can also be, let's say, UK, USA, in that order, okay, in that order. So you can give the people the option to select whichever, country that they want, okay, but you can decide to make it required or not. All right. The next thing I want to show you is how to use the select or the checkbox option. So a question, for instance, that will demand that you choose a select box, for instance, will say, select any language you are comfortable with. Okay. So example, we can say English, French, let's say Tree, and other things. Okay, so this, you have given the person the opportunity to select any language that he or she is, familiar with or is comfortable speaking. Okay, so this is how you prepare your questionnaires. And when you finish and you want to just send, the button is here. We'll get there, but we have not gotten there yet. When you finish, you just click on the button. It will give you an option, and then I'll show you how to do and you send them. Okay. Now we go to the response aspect. When you click on the response aspect, at the moment the response aspect is, zero, because no one has been able to, reacted to this particular link. We have not shared the link, and so no one has, filled it. Imagine after preparing the document, you share the document with friends that you want them to help you in your questionnaires. After filling them, you get the responses according to the individual, according to, some demographics, how you aspect your questions, you get all of those in the responses aspect. The interesting aspect is that you can decide to download your answer in a CSV form onto your computer and make an analysis with them. The Google Forms itself will also help you make an analysis by drawing graphs and then, bar charts and other things for you. The number of people that answered yes, the number of people that answered no to a particular question, and all those things will be in your responses aspects. Okay, you can finally download them to your computer by downloading the CSV, or you can also print all the responses as well. And so the responses that you get from people, you can print them and then have them as a book, or anything depending on what survey that you are doing. Okay. Now the next thing that you look at is settings. And under the settings, we have a lot of things that we'll go through, a couple of them. We have make this a quiz. And so if you are a teacher and then you are going to ask children or students to answer certain questions for you and then give them marks, then you may like to give this one as a quiz. And here what it means is that immediately after each submission, students are to get their feedback. So what this does is that after submitting the work, they are going to be graded and they will see their response, their correct answers to whatever questions that they were answering. Okay, so we have the options to make respondent can see which questions were answered correctly. Respondent can see correct answers after grades are released. And so what you can do if you are a teacher is that you can give the children the access to see which answers were answered correctly, but you may decide to not let them see correct answers after grades are released. Okay. You can also decide to let them see the total points and also the total grade they receive for each question. That one depends on you. Okay. Now here you can assign a point. So for right, let's say the point is 5. And so depending on the number of questions that you want them to answer, if it is 20 questions, then you are going to get 100% for that particular questions. Okay. So this will be assigned to all the questions, and each question is going to be, let's say, 5, 5, 5, 5, depending on the number of questions that you want them to answer. So for instance, when you do this, every question is going to carry 5 marks. Okay, now we have responses. Manage how responses are collected and protected. And so here you can decide to collect email addresses or do not collect email addresses. And then you can limit to, the number of responses. How many times an email that has, signed in be able to submit a response, okay, after submitting a response successfully. All right. Then we have manage how the form and responses are presented. So when you click, we have a lot of information here as well. When they are filling the form, do you want a progress bar to show them that they are on course? Do you want to shuffle the questions in case they attempt the questions and they fail? Do you want them to be able to answer the questions again, but this time round, the positions of the questions should change? Okay, you can take this one as well so that the questions will not have a fixed position. All right, then you have your message that you give to your respondents after they have submitted the exams or whatever that you are doing. Now, to those who are teachers, let me go back to how you will be able to assign, the marks to the questions. So for instance, if you come to this place, we are going to ask another question. We are going to ask another question and we will assign correct answer to the question. Okay, to the question. Let's say who is the president? Who is, let's say, okay, who is the president of mm, okay, let me ask this question. Let's say 2 plus 3. Then you come to the options is you say 5 or 7. Okay. And so at this point, you want your children to answer the questions. Okay. So now you add answer key. Answer key. And when you click on answer key, they will ask you to select the correct answer you want the children to pick. So if they don't select that one, then it means they are wrong. Okay. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So you see, when you give this questionnaire out and the child answers correctly, he will be given 5 marks. Okay. I'll do that one again by setting another question. Okay. And I will say, let's say 10 plus 3, let's say minus 2 plus 6. Okay. So when you come here, you can say, let's say answer is 16. Okay. Now you come to this place, you give the option like say 14 or something like any number. Okay. So you are just doing the calculations so that at the end of the day, you will give them the option to select the correct answer. And if they get it wrong, they will get the answer on the screen immediately after submitting the answer. Okay, so now like this, when you get here, you just assign the key to it. You say 5. You can decide to change it depending on the complexity of the question. Okay, so you can say, okay, this one is 10. Then the correct answer is this. Then you do like this. So you can also decide to make the question required until the child answers that question. He or she has no right to go to the next question. Okay, he or she has no right to go to the next question. In that sense, it will compel them to answer everything in that particular question before they move on to the next question, which is very, very important. It is very, very important. Okay, so this is how Google Forms works. After doing all this thing, if it is exams or if it is survey, you would like to submit or share with people for them to fill, and then you come to the responses and see the feedback that people were giving you so that you use them in your work or you use them to grade the people as it is exams or something like online test. Okay, this one helps you a lot. This one helps you a lot. So when we started by giving possible answers, we set only 2 questions. One was 10 and one was 5. So you can see that the total point for the question part is 15. And so if the child scores everything, he will see his correct answer after submitting the exams. Okay. And all those things will be under the responses. And if you want to check how to do the settings, you come to this place. And then as soon as you pick this, it doesn't becomes exams or test again. So this option is gone. When you click on this, then now the option will come. What this means is that the 5 points each has applied to every single question that we asked. Okay, every single question that we asked, as you can see, is here. So now every single question is going to be 5 5 each. But initially, that was not what we did. So you have to take your time when you are preparing the Google Forms. Okay. Now, after that, the next important thing you need to know is how to send the document. Now you click on this send option here, and when you click on the send option, you have a lot of information available. How are you going to send the document? Is it via email, via attachment, or social handles? Okay, if it is email, then you have to enter the email addresses of the people that you want them to have the survey and then fill for you. Okay, you can add an editor to this particular survey as well. You can add an editor to this survey, and then you can invite people to also work on it. Now we also have another option that says via link. So you can share this document with people in the form of link. And when you click on this, the link is a little bit long. It's a little bit long. So you can just click on this shortened URL, and it will make the link a little bit, I mean, something sensible enough for you to copy and then share. So now when you copy this link, you just go to any place on WhatsApp, email, wherever, and share with the people. Here you can decide to say do not collect email addresses, or you can ask people to verify their email addresses before they move on, or responder input. Okay, so you have the right to do all those changes at this point before you copy the link. All right, thank you very much for watching this video. It has been a very long or lengthy video, but I know you have gotten something that is going to help you. In today's class, we started by looking at where we started from when it comes to effective email communication. We looked at how to create an email account. We have also looked at the advantages and the disadvantages when it comes to communicating using email accounts. We have looked a lot about how to secure your emails. The 15 methods that you can use to protect your email account, the password, the authentication method. We have learned a lot how to set vacation responder or responses when not available, and all those things when it comes to sending emails and making them important as well. We have looked at all of those things in this 4 weeks training. We want to say very big thank you to all of you. I sincerely appreciate the leadership of Global End Time Prayer Army also as well for supporting this worthy cause. We want to say a very big thank you for promoting this. All our students, we want to say God richly bless you, and then go into your emails and then download your certificate as well. All of them will be shared via your emails. Since this training is about effective email communications, all of them will be shared in your email as well. Thank you very much. We want to put across that there is going to be another training section, which is not going to be effective email, but another nice, interesting course that will keep you moving when it comes to your professional life. And so don't forget to click on subscription button, hit on the notification bell so that anytime you post a video, you will be notified. Go to the web, type www.globalendtimeprayerarmy, or just search for gapaglobal.net, and then you will be able to visit the NGO that is sponsoring this particular training, their website, read for yourself, and then you will be blessed. Have a nice day. Bye.